Pleasant good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to our main followers of your base 99.9 FM. I am a Siam calling out and broadcasting to you live at the Ministry of Information, Culture Affairs and Tourism. So today MICAT press briefing will jointly be addressed by Dr. Louis M. Cotto, Minister of Health, MOH, and Honorable James M. Fromayan, the Chairperson of the Liberia National Commission on Arms. So Dr. Cotto will provide an updates on the progress made so far in the health sectors, amongst others. So Honorable Fromayan will speak on the success of the President Executive Order 141, which focuses on the mandatory registration of civilian firearms. He will be accompanied by his vice chair Auntie Vakwana BK Womo and Commissioner Auntie Vivian D. Doba, respectively. So if you are just joining, I would like to say welcome. This is CLBC 99.9 FM and I'm broadcasting to you live at the Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism. So still to go away as we bring in full coverage of MICAT press briefing. So the minister will be here in few minutes from now. So again today MICAT will play host the Minister Dada Louis Mpoto, the Minister of Health at the Ministry of Health and Honorable James M. Fromayan, the Chairperson of the Liberia National Commission on Arms. So Dr. Poto is expected to provide updates on the progress made so far in the health sectors, and Honorable Fromayan will speak on the success of the President Executive Order 141, which focuses on which focuses so any moment for now our Minister Honorable Jerome Mafipi will be here for the official. So if you are just joining again, I would like to say welcome. Still with us, don't you go away as we bring in full coverage to the press briefing. So that's the arrival of Honorable Jerome Mafipi, Minister of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism, and Deputy Minister for Administration, Honorable Johnny Tapa, just arrived.
Thank you, distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the press. On Tuesday, the minister informed all of us that due to the renovation of the Charles Bayon Press Hall, we will be here temporarily having our press conferences until that hall is rewarding like his office. I'd like to welcome you to our regular press conference. When you are doing good, people around the world follow you. And so, Mr. and Mrs. Logan from the United States of America have said that they have come to witness the press conference, Minister. They are on your left hand side. They run the Hallelujah Central Church. Their radio frequency is 100.9 FM. They have two reporters here and sign here. They said to us, they've been following your work, and so they asked the permission to come and sit in the press conference. I'd like to welcome you to the Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism, the ministry where immense transformation is taking place every day. Member of the press, when the minister through with his presentation, the guests will speak, after which you have the opportunity to ask questions to the guests based upon their presentation. With that said, I'd like to invite the Chief Administrator, the official spokesperson of the government, Honorable Jeremy Murphy Pia, who will come on the national podium and make his presentation. Mr. Pia.
Achille, are you there?
So that was the voice of the Director for Press and Public Affairs as the Ministry of Information, Lawrence and Family. So this is Honorable Jeremy Murphy just about to brief the nation on trending national issues.
So good afternoon to all of you, and let me welcome you at the Ministry of Information. It's good that we are hostile. Chairman Fromayan was saying to me that he believed the natural air, the natural breeze that is blowing across is wonderful, and so he loves it here. Then perhaps if we were out there, like I said, we basically inherited a dilapidated ministry. We made a promise that we transform whatever we met here. And for the last 1 year plus, that transformation process started without a dime from the government, from central government. So for the first time, they're giving us some money. We've done the bidding process, and renovation work will start shortly. But because that conference room that you own the office, we didn't want to wait for the general renovation before we do. We decided to do it now. So that is the reason why we are out here. One of the things I was telling you about, someone that said the child called the renovation, hallelujah. You have any chairs? Yeah, the very other thing I want to say, every church will not like it. You see the top of this place? The honor power, the thing is a flat top there. And we're thinking about transforming it in a place that looks like an area where my journalists can sit down to drink their little beer and stuff. I know it's in their beer and stuff. Yes. So it almost stopped me from saying it, but I still have to say it because this top part of this place, we change it, we fix it well, set it up. When you come, if you bring your whole press conference, you're busy posting, and you can take long for the car to come for you, you go up there. Somebody will be there to give soft drink. If you can drink soft drink, if you can drink beer, we give beer, you can drink, start again. It's all to make the work environment welcoming so that you see the need to come all of the time and do your work. To transform the place is not just for us who are working here, it's for all of you who are associated with us in some way or the other. We expected to have the Minister of Health also addressing the press conference today. I haven't seen her. I'm not sure whether she will still come, but it's good that the chairman is here with his team. So when I'm done, he will address you all, and if the Minister of Health comes, fine. If he doesn't, time. You know, yesterday was National Unification Day. Every time I look across your faces and see how young many of you are, I'm tempted to believe that you have not followed the conflict history of our country. Because if you follow deeply, certainly you will embrace celebrations of days such as National Unification Day, because that is something that is still wanting in our society. There are some who believe that the government can just, by law, constrain all of us to reconcile. It's not possible. You can legislate reconciliation. So most of the things we have to do to be reconciled as a nation rests with us, the people. Are there responsibilities that the government too got? Yes, government got to play some role, but no matter what the government does, if there are two persons among you who are not speaking and who say you are enemies for life, the government action will not change that. It is the two of you who will decide to say, look, we want to make progress, we reconcile our differences, we unite, we see ourselves once more as brothers and sisters, and you move on. So every time we have a Unification Day, there's always a reminder as to where we came from as a country and where we are today. Normally we have a formal program. For the first time, due to other engaging schedules, we're not able to have a formal program, but the President spoke to the nation. He acknowledged that we are still faced with profound challenges and divisions among ourselves, and that we need to work harder to be a completely reconciled nation. He also noted that through it all, with all the problems we have, we've made some strides in consolidating peace, in rebuilding institutions, in restoring hope amongst us. But just like I said, he noted that true reconciliation and unification require more than just mere passage of time. They require deliberate efforts on the part of all of us, including you, and conscious decisions by all of us individually to prioritize understanding over suspicion and collaboration over conflict. And he said, in the spirit of unity and renewal, he was pleased, and this is very important, to acknowledge the fact that the crisis that had lingered in the House of Representatives was resolved just on the eve of National Unification Day. A resolution that culminated into the election of Honorable Richard Nambwe as the Speaker. I'm sure next time we come to the press conference, nobody will be pointing to a picture up there and say, what the other picture doing, what they want doing up there. That problem is solved by itself. So the President has extended warm congratulations to Mr. Kong, or Honorable Kong, for his election. But he has also challenged Speaker Kong to lead with courage, with inclusiveness, and with humility. He has further encouraged him to reach across the aisle, unify the House of Representatives once more, and ensure that the House focuses squarely on the work for which the Liberian people elected them. In other words, he was saying to Speaker Kong, now that you are Speaker, is not about winners and losers. Everyone is a winner here because something that has undermined the very fabric of our national existence, seeing our lower house being in conflict for over 7 months, now that is resolved, cannot be seen as a victory for anyone, but a victory for the Liberian people. And that he now has an obligation to reach across the aisle and ensure that they come back together as they used to be before and work for the good of the Liberian people. As you may already know, but we love to re-echo these things because it sends messages. The European Union has committed 56 million euro, which is around 62 million US dollars, in direct budget support through a new financing agreement that was just signed between the EU Ambassador, Madame Dona Dupuis, and Finance and Development Planning Minister, Augustine Kwe-Gafuan. The government of Liberia believes that this action reaffirms the EU's strong partnership with Liberia. Note that the support is a grant, not a loan. When you get a grant, it means that free money. They give you money, say use it, you don't have to pay us back. If it is a loan, you will pay back most times with interest. So just think about this. 62 million US dollars given to your country free to aid your budgetary process. No country or organization that does not have confidence in the government structure of a country will take 62 million of their taxpayers' dollars to give it to you free. So it is a grant, not a loan, and so it means that Liberia is not borrowing any money for that purpose, and they will not have to repay anything. There is an additional 7 million euro, which is around 7.7 US dollars, for complementary measures to strengthen public financial management and oversight. Our minister, like I said, signed on behalf of the government, which is Minister Gafuan, and Madame Dona Dupuis signed for the EU. The government takes particular note of the EU ambassador's comment that the 56 million that will be channeled through our budgetary system is a demonstration of confidence in the financial management and governance architecture of our country, and that the action reinforces our government's capacity to manage the country's resources effectively and deliver on the country's national development priorities. Under the Bwaka Kong leadership, the country has met the eligibility that includes the existence of a credible national development plan. You know, we have one we launched in Basel, a robust financial management reform agenda which we have, and a commitment to macroeconomic stability and a transparent budget process. Of course, we run an open budget process. Our budget is transparent. Nobody got to come ask Minister Tapa or the chairman of the Armed Commission what his salary is. You know where to find it. So you can hire a salary. What the Ministry of Information has is a budget to operate. You can hire it, you can fund it. So that budgetary process is very transparent, and these are things that can encourage donors to see the need to support your budget process. So that support is a demonstration that we are good on all of these fronts. And of course, the ambassador was clear that the EU's use of direct budgetary support reflects confidence in the government of Liberia's commitment to pursue ambitious reform, promote accountability, and improve financial governance. So once again, the partners of Liberia are trusting our country again. And there is a 360-degree turnaround from what we saw in our most recent history. The government, through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and our embassy in Accra, has announced the inaugural Liberia Investment Conference, which is scheduled for today and tomorrow in Accra. That conference aims to strengthen and consolidate economic ties between Liberia and Ghana, while at the same time showcasing the myriad of investment opportunities that are available in Liberia. The conference, which is being held under the theme Unlocking Liberia's Investment Potential for Sustainable Economic Growth, seeks to gather investors, government officials, entrepreneurs, development partners, among others, to explore Liberia's key growth sectors. And they include agriculture, tourism, telecommunication, energy, infrastructures, etc. The initiative supports President Bouaka and Liberia's rebuilding and development agenda. The two-day event will feature investment-focused panel discussions with prominent government and business leaders, sector-specific presentations, and breakout sections, among others. The participants can expect a Liberian Ghana Trade and Culture Expo and valuable network, as well as business-to-business matchmaking opportunities. Investors attending the summit will have direct engagements with Liberian government officials, regulatory agencies, and investment promotion authorities. It will provide clear line of communication for understanding the investment policies, tax initiatives, sector-specific opportunities, highlighting the potential for sector critical for job creation, revenue generation, and infrastructure development. Our own Deputy Minister Daniel Sando and the Assistant Minister for Tourism are part of that summit representing the Ministry of Information. And by the way, the ministry will make a special presentation on the tourism sector of our country. The Central Bank of Liberia has developed an ambitious 5-year strategic plan covering 2025 to 2029. The plan is worth 63.32 million and is currently before partners in the sector. That plan aims to foster financial inclusion, to address instability, and increase public trust in the banking sector. It will serve as a comprehensive roadmap guiding the bank's actions and priorities as it strives to foster macroeconomic stability, promote financial inclusion, and support sustainable development throughout Liberia. The plan has been unveiled by Executive Governor Henry Samoa, and it contains 55 projects, 7 of which have received funding commitments from our donor partners in the sum of 16.01 million, while US 47.3 million stands as the gap amount to complete the project. The plan aligns with the Arrest Agenda for Inclusive Development, which aims to address the needs of the entire macroeconomic system and take Liberia to a digital economy. It will digitize the economy, launch the National Electronic Payment Switch, working along with DSN companies. It has 5 critical pillars to include domestic price stability, regional integration, operational efficiency, financial inclusion, and digital financial services. Yesterday, the President held a high-level interministerial meeting. Ministries present at that meeting were the Ministry of Justice, the Ministry of Mines and Energy, Public Works, Transport, Ministry of State, and the Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism. The meeting was convened by the President in response to a widespread public concern and mounting reports that heavy-duty trucks operated by Bauchico that are transporting ore from the bombing corridor to the Freeport are creating serious problems. Citizens have expressed serious safety concerns regarding the reckless movement of these trucks, including reported accidents, some resulting to tragic deaths. And there's something that I'm a witness of because I live broadly, I'm on the road every night. Sometimes you see more than 50, 60, 70 trucks on that narrow road at the same time, all with very bright light. So the President talked to remind everybody that we have previously directed that no ore is supposed to be transported by road. That was something we inherited because the past regime had a concession with Western Cluster and they gave them a 3-year period to transport iron ore by road, something that looks and sounds very stupid. Because iron ore is such that when you expose it in the way they do, sometimes you don't see the immediate impact. But all the people who live along that corridor can, in the long term, have very serious medical issues based on the pollution of the environment by transporting those ore by road. So facts were established. One, they were not just operating by themselves. They got some permits. But the permit was not sector inclusive, meaning one entity provided them the service to operate. Of course, they have not gotten clearance from the Ministry of Mines and Energy to export anything like iron ore from that corridor. So that was another breach and violation. So there were some specific directives issued at the end of that meeting. One, because of public safety concern, and two, just think about it. Right now, they're building the roads on that side. We're paving it. But as you're paving the road, the same moment you're paving it, so now you put a quota there today, 2 days later, you have the heavy-duty truck, 50, 60, 70 of them, driving on the same road. So what do you think is happening? As you're building the road, it's spoiling it instantly. Now, the part of the places where the road project got yet to reach, they're becoming terrible again because those trucks are heavy, they're taking iron ore, and there are so many. So they're causing some very serious problems. So the president has instructed that whatever permit they have for which those trucks are on the road, that permit should be immediately revoked, and it has been revoked. We're not going to see those trucks in the numbers they are plying that route with iron ore any longer. In fact, Bauchico was told to build a jetty. They also built a road for themselves from the concession area to where the jetty is. So what the BCBC will be doing now is taking the ore from the side, transporting it using the road that they built, and stockpiling them at that point until the jetty is completed. And then from the jetty, you're able to transport your products from there towards the free port for exportation. That is why it's supposed to be. But whatever went wrong, for which they were back on the road with hundreds of trucks, causing health situation, damaging the road, and even taking away lives, was a mystery that we have to address. That has been addressed, and whatever permit they have to use the road is hereby revoked. So these are the comments I had to make, and we've made them. So I'd like to now invite Chairman James Fromayan. You all know him, you know, statesman, ran election in this country for years, now playing a different role. So hear from him in that capacity. So the Chairman, you are welcome.
Saudade Honorable Jeremy McMaster, Minister of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism. This is Honorable James Fromayan.
Honorable Ministers, officials of the Ministry of Information, Morgan, Commissioner Dobbe, Labusier, and other members of my team from Armed Commission, distinguished members of the 4th Estate, fellow Liberians at home and abroad. It is both an honor and a duty that I stand before you today to provide critical updates on the activities of the Liberian National Commission on Arms, particularly in relation to the implementation of Executive Order Number 141, issued by His Excellency President Joseph Yuma Boakai on February 24, 2025, mandating the registration of all civilian-owned firearms across the Republic. Let me begin by extending sincere gratitude to President Boakai for the confidence reposed in us to steer this vital national institution. I also thank the Honorable Minister of Information and the MICAT team for the opportunity to appear on this national platform to address the Liberian people on a matter of paramount importance to our national security, background, and legislative framework. As many of you are aware, the Liberia National Commission on Arms, formerly known as the Small Arms Commission, was established in 2012 in alignment with Article 24 of the ECOWAS Convention on Small Arms and Light Weapons. This convention aims to curb the growing threat posed by the uncontrolled proliferation of illicit small arms and light weapons across the sub-region. At that time, an alarming rise in violence fueled by the wave of armed conflicts in the Mano River Union Basin and other parts of the ECOWAS region posed a serious threat to regional peace and security. Liberia still reeling from the devastating effects of a 14-year civil conflict, largely fueled by the availability of illicit small arms and light weapons, was particularly vulnerable. That chapter in our history remains a sobering reminder of the danger posed by unchecked access to firearms. With strong backing from ECOWAS, the United Nations and other regional and international partners, the government of Liberia acted decisively to prevent a recurrence of such conflict by establishing mechanisms for arms control. Our commitment to international norms was demonstrated through the signing and ratification of the ECOWAS Convention on Small Arms and Light Weapons and the Arms Trade Treaty, the ATT. Going beyond symbolic endorsement, Liberia has successfully domesticated this instrument, integrating their principles into our legal framework, most notably through the Arms Commission Act and the Firearms and Ammunition Control Act, originally enacted in 2015 and comprehensively amended in 2022. This legal framework empowered the Commission to regulate the full life cycle of weapons and ammunition, covering importation, manufacturing, trading, possession, usage, and the destruction of obsolete and excess firearms in collaboration with state security institutions. Achievement in managing state-owned arms. I am pleased to report that the Arms Commission, in collaboration with state security agencies, has made measurable progress in the management of state-owned firearms. Key achievements include marking and digital recording of state-owned weapons for easy tracing, routine assessment and inspection of state armories for compliance with stockpile management protocols, specialized training programs for armory managers and technical security personnel, retrieval of seized and obsolete weapons from around the country. These initiatives are in line with international best practices for physical security and accountability of state-owned arms. The challenge of civilian firearms and the significance of the Executive Order Number 141. Despite this achievement, the unregulated proliferation of civilian-held firearms remains a critical challenge. Alarmingly, many of these firearms are acquired through illegal means, and the country lacks an accurate record of how many such weapons are currently in circulation. Against the backdrop of rising security concerns and public demand for self-defense, Executive Order Number 141 is both timely and strategic. It provides 1. An amnesty period that conforms to the lifespan of the executive order for civilians who currently own firearms illegally, offering them a chance to register and legalize those arms through the appropriate procedures. A clear legal pathway to responsible gun ownership, ensuring that firearms in civilian hands are properly documented, tracked, and regulated. Let me stress, this amnesty window expires in February 2026. After this deadline, anyone found in possession of an unregistered firearm will be subject to the full pull of the law, including a felony charge of the first degree punishable by up to 10 years imprisonment. Establishment of a licensing regime. I am pleased to further inform the public that the Commencement of Civilian Arms Registration exercise was preceded by a number of policy decisions stepped by the Commission in collaboration with relevant state security agencies, including the setting up of a technical committee, a team of security experts from the Liberia National Police, the National Security Agency, Liberia Immigration Service, Ministry of Justice, and the Armed Forces of Liberia, pursuant to Section 4.6 of the amended Firearms and Ammunition Control Act of 2015, to vet individuals who apply for possession license. Formulation and adoption of administrative regulation. Regulation number 5, procedures for obtaining possession permit license for civilian firearms, defining the specification of firearms, fees, penalties, as well as other procedures required for civilian possession of firearms in Liberia. Licensing process and eligibility criteria. I am pleased to also announce that the Arms Commission is fully operational and ready to begin processing applications for civilian firearms licensing. Applicants may visit our head office at Capitol Hill, Executive Mansion Ground, or any of our regional offices in Bong, Lofa, and Bombay counties. Civilian firearms includes authorized firearms for civilian possession, specifically a shoulder fire, single or double barrel gun used for game hunting, traditional ceremony, and recreation in a controlled facility. Handgun ranging from 5.6 millimeter to 0.22 inch caliber to 9 millimeter, 0.35 caliber, specified for individuals and institutions granted exemption under the special security need category. Administrative procedures outlining the registration process are now available. For clarity here are the minimum eligibility criteria. Applicant must be a Liberian citizen of legal resident 18 years or above. Must not have any criminal record, including domestic violence. Must be of sound mind and not under the care of mental institution. Must not be addicted to or a habitual user of controlled substances. Must not have a record of intemperate conduct or human rights violation. Must undergo and pass a background check by the Liberia National Police and the National Security Agency. Must otherwise be permitted by law to own a firearm. Interested individuals must comply with the following procedure for obtaining a firearm permit or license for civilian possession. Number 1, express intent through a formal communication addressed to the Chairperson of the Liberia National Commission on Arms. Number 2, LINCA will acknowledge receipt of the letter of intent by providing the applicant with an application form as well as payment slip with the designated bank account details to deposit non-refundable fee in USD or equivalent in Liberian dollars for license permit and submit proof of payment to obtain official receipt. 3. Applicant will complete the application form issued by the Commission and submit all of the requirements attached to the form. Applicant will be forwarded to law enforcement authority for background check and fingerprinting. Applicant will receive notification of approval or rejection from the Commission. Upon approval, applicant will be forwarded to the LP Small Arms Control Unit for competent firearm training clearance. Firearm will be marked and recorded for tracing purposes. Number 8, a team from law enforcement authority will conduct assessment of the applicant firearm storage before license is issued. LINCA will conduct periodic inspection of the firearm management in line with internal SOP. For a complete guide, we encourage all interested individuals to obtain a copy of our frequently asked questions brochure available in print and on the Commission official website. In concluding, I want to thank the press. Thank you for your continued service to democracy by keeping the public informed and engaged. To the listening public, we appreciate your patience, cooperation, and interest in this national process. The successful implementation of Executive Order Number 141 hinges not just on the work of the Commission, but also on your commitment to public safety and the rule of law. To the Honorable Minister of Information and the MICAT team, we say thank you for this platform and your support in amplifying our message. May God bless the works of our hands, and may peace and stability forever reign in Liberia. Thank you all. I have power for standing for too long, so I don't want to collapse. I will sit and pick up questions.
So that is the voice of Honorable James M. Fromayan, the Chairperson of the Liberia National Convention on Arms. So if you just joined, I would like to say welcome. My name is Sammy Coin, and I'm broadcasting live at the Information Culture Center.
Yesterday, while many of you were boarding, the engine of the government, the Minister of Information, was here sitting meeting, and that's why the we were able to formally provide an update of what happened yesterday on President Board. I'd like to also thank my boss for taking all the time, to provide this information. At this juncture, I'd like to call on my principal deputy, who will moderate while I take what from the minister.
You have to leave the questions, please come and give. Please introduce yourself and the institution you report for.
By Jones.
Well, thank you. I'm Ezekiel Johnson, represent the Hallelujah Radio 100.9 megahertz. My question has to do with the heavy-duty trucks that will be plying the street. How soon would that take effect? And my second question goes to Honorable James Fromayan. He talks about firearm registration. He talks about a recognized firearm. Now, if I having the chance to be carrying a firearm, can I make myself available by doing the registration now, or would there be a set date for that process? Thank you.
Next.
I'm Uriah Simpan, and I do report for DNS Liberia. My question goes to the Commissioner James. I'm Uriah Simpan, and I report for DNS Liberia. What impact is expected on the reduction of firearm crimes following the implementation of the order? And secondly, have there been plans on creating public awareness for effective registration?
Next.
Good afternoon. My name is O'Neill Phillips. I write for the New Liberian newspaper. I have one question for. the chairman, on Fromayan. On Fromayan, your critics say there are arms, with some unscrupulous people, and so this regulation, the executive order, is intended to, go after them. That's why this executive order was issued. But the main question here is Liberia prepared to give its citizen arm considering coming from war? Thank you.
And so my name is Mopolu, and I operate a multimedia hub, which I will use the time to tell Minister Pia to visit one day. But my question first to go to Minister Pia. Minister Pia, thank you for the update given the Liberian people, especially when it comes to, I think, the 62 million given by European Union. But it's good to plan before the kinds of funding come in. So you care to tell the Liberian people where are the targeted areas that this 62 million will be used so that the Liberian people can know exactly when the money comes, where it's going to be used. And so the next question goes to Mr. Fromayan. This is a critical place you are, and just to come and give some information is also important, but you want to be definitive to tell us exactly how many, talking about statistics now, how many arms, talking about small arms that have been registered under your administration. Also, you can talk about, before taking over, what was registered there so that the Liberian people can know the progress and understand the statistic. Thank you so much.
So my name is Joseph Salif, and I report for ABC Radio. My first question goes to Minister Pia. Minister Pia, every organ at this ministry have a major role when it comes to the effectiveness of government running. I want to know, since the president suspended the assistant minister for information service, what are you hearing as an administrator? Because I believe that it boils down to the workings of this ministry. And lastly, to the head of small arm, like my colleague asked you the question. So if you were to give her a stat on the total number of registered army in the country and unregulated or arms that are not registered under your commission, I want to know, just give her a stat of the total number of registered and illegal arms in the country. Thank you.
Good afternoon, I'm Larry STP, and I report for Bana FM. My first question goes to Honorable Fromayan. I want to know, when it comes to arms, who are those that are supposed to have arms? Is it everybody or certain group of people? That's my question. To Minister Pia, yesterday the president reached out to former leaders and wished them National Unification Day, which is good. But my concern is, because I can recall the EPA boss of recent said as a result of some political leaders making some statements that have the propensity to bring conflict, there was a plan to take some security personnel from past maybe leaders or political leaders. Now yesterday the president reached out to some of the leaders. Is the president also taking into consideration their safety? If yes, what has been the issue? What has been the issue of your statement you made when you said that you were going to engage the EPA boss to ensure that maybe they can be retained or removed? Thank you.
Thank you. So basically, my name is Desmond William, and I report for Democracy Watch newspaper. Thanks so kindly to the folks from the Small Arms Commissions. And let me begin with the government spokesperson. The issue about transformation, Minister Pia, I must say this in a public manner, that since your ascendancy here, there has been a rapid transformation in terms of infrastructure. Speaking to the point of staff force welfare, it is key in a given environment for all striving institutions. I'm so concerned about your leadership here as a Minister of Information. Is that anything bothering you about some of the staffers who received below the civil servant minimum wage of 150 as tend to be corrected? Is there any plans, just as there have been plans, to transform the building in structure and to also transform the salary structure of the staffers as well? And to the Small Arms Commission, the issue about arms is very important for our people to register their arms. This institution was established since 2012, and we are in 2025, mounting to 13 years of full operation. Has there been any periodic statistical evaluation of all of those individuals who are arms carrier legally? If yes, it boils down to the question my colleague asked. We are scared to know in terms of technical statistics, what is the total number of folded, recognized, and registered arms carrier within the Republic of Liberia? Thank you.
So I'm Samuel Johnson, a Liberian journalist, and my question is to Minister Pia. Over the last 2 weeks, Minister Pia visited up country, to be specific, in Bon, Limba, and other part of Lofa, and I saw some transformative work that is being done by superintendents of some of those counties that I visited. So I wanted to ask if there are plans by the ministry to bring some of those superintendents, commissioners, or local county leaders here for the press conference, so that they too can have the opportunity to be able to show light on some of those developmental initiatives that are being done in their counties, and also some of the challenges they are facing in their local structure. Thank you.
Thank you. Those are all the questions. Commissioner Fromayan, you can proceed with response.
Okay, I'm Jonathan Snotty Witherspoon, and my question goes to
your institution, please.
I report for Spoon. My question goes to the minister. Speaking of the heavy-duty trucks along the Broadway Plaza that take iron ores and export to the free port of Monrovia, and you said the president, during the meeting or after the meeting, he happens to ban the use of the railroad that the truck used to pass, that there will be no passing for them. With that ban affect only the heavy duty trucks that come from bombing or the entire country? Because there are also issues along the car where trucks take sand from, and we also observe the reckless driving across the country. So I want to know if this ban will affect only Bachiko or the entire country, and if no, what happens to the other people around that are also affected from these trucks?
Thank you. Those are all the questions. Commissioner Fromayan, you can proceed with response.
So that's it for questions. Yes. Answers by Commissioner James Fromayan.
Go back to commissioners. Okay, thank you all of you ask questions, and we'll do the best we can to deal with them one by one. I think the first question was whether we are carrying on registration now, or it will be done in the future in time to come. Right now, the registration process is not going on. As you may have pay attention to the statement I made. We said that we have been working with other state security institutions. This is not an exercise that the Armed Commission can handle by itself. We are working hand in hand with the police, NSA, immigration, AFL. So whatever we do, we have to sit with them and make sure that we are on the same page. Certain things that NSA can do, we can do it. Like for instance, the background checking. The commission cannot do that. We don't have the expertise to do that. Fingerprinting, we can do that. But for now, we have not started the registration process. We put all the mechanism in place so that the process can be started as soon as people are going picking up form now. What they are doing, they're picking up the form, and then giving them all the procedure. So what you should do to have your arm registered. And let me also say that this second question asks about the impact that the exercise have had, and if there's any public awareness created. We are glad to say that the Armed Commission, when we took over, at the time of the commission before, the law did not allow civilian to own arms. It was really rejected at the legislature, but over time the law accommodated that civilian can own arms. And when they say civilian should own arms, it doesn't mean that you got to arm everybody in Liberia will be carrying arms. No, it's a rigid regime. That's why we made mention about all the security entities that are working along with us. Because in the final analysis, whether you like it or not, people are having arms. And the essence of the executive order is, look, instead of you keeping the arms under your bed, unregistered, no way can be a trace, it's better those who have it, let them come forward and present them so that we can do the rightful thing by making sure that you don't have criminal record, you are not somebody who got the kind of temper that when something happens you ready to shoot. I mean, we check you thoroughly before we allow you to have arms, because people have been calling on us that they have arms, they want to come before the executive order came into being, that they have arms, they want to come register them, but we have to tell them to wait yet until we issue the executive order. The idea here is to make sure that arms in the hand of those who will be qualified will be controlled, will be checked. We know John Brown is carrying his arm, and we will be doing regular inspection. So for now, we have the awareness, everything starting out of this moment. Jingles, you will begin to hear in the airwaves the viewer messages that will be coming about, as of this moment. Then someone asked if is Liberia prepared to give its citizens arms? Well, I don't think the idea is, in our view and the view of the government, the lesser there are arms in the country, the better it is. So it is not the government that is going to arm people. We are saying that there are arms in the country. Remember, we went through more than a decade plus of civil strife. You know the number of guns that are in this country. We had disarmament that was done in a rush. Some of us were with the process from the very start. From the time of ECOMOG, we were here, 1990, and never left. So we know the number of weapons that are in this country. We didn't have statistics. I mean, nobody has statistics. There hasn't been any baseline survey done to say, look, we have X number of arms circulating in the country. But we do know that that disarmament was in a rush, even though there's nowhere in the world that you have 100% disarmament done, but our own, it was in such a haste that good number of people kept their warlord, kept their weapon, and some of their fighters. So it is better that the executive order came into being, and then we are going to put a system in place to make sure that we'll be able to give statistics of those who are carrying arms as of this moment when we begin the exercise. Then someone asks how many arms have been registered. Say that again. Oh, yeah, how many arms have been registered? And we are not only talking about this arm that the individual have, but we are also talking about single barrel guns. That one for hunting purposes. We know that a particular single barrel gun to a hunter, for instance, there will be documentation. You will be working along with the armed commission, because we need to, we'll know how many arms you bring in country. At the end of the day, we'll be able to check you to see how many have been sold, to whom were they sold. So we'll have all those information handy. Again, the same question, statistics on the total number of registered and unregistered arms. I said we don't have that statistics, and it's like we're actually beginning, to make sure that we have that statistics in place. Who are those who supposed to bear arms? Was the sixth question. Well, the procedure is laid down. We not just see John Brown come say, look, I want to register my arm. First, the army said, as we said, granted, those who hold the arm, nobody going to penalize you for now. You have close to a year to make to turn your arms over to register them. So the fact that the president gave you that latitude of time to turn your arms in, if you have good intention, like those who've been calling that they have arms, they want to turn them in, they will come and do that properly so that you have your lesson. And we do that too for diplomatic mission. The Americans have benefited from that. They came to us. Some of their Liberian bodyguards they want them to carry SAR weapon. The commission did not interpose any objection to that because it's their right. But they went through the legal procedure. They went through the police trained them, and we certificated them. There are 4 of them, So that's how far we have been. I don't know. Another question that I left out? No. Yeah. Yeah, please. Then you can quickly restate it.
Thank you.
Oh, it's okay. Okay then. So the person who asked about the talk, did I hear you say when the talk will start or stop? What did you say? Remember, hallelujah. Now you ask the question. What was the question?
Yeah, just to reiterate, I said
STRT. But I don't know what I said.
stop. Yeah, when we stop. When we stop applying this.
STOP?
Yeah. Now,
Okay.
remember you spoke to tell me to stop.
So the authorization they had to use the role has been revoked, and so it comes into effect immediately. We don't expect to see any of them coming from that mining area coming with iron ore. If we see them on the road, we arrest the operator of the truck, we have impound the trucks, and take other actions that will be necessary. So once the revocation is done, you should not be on that route with your truck. you'll be doing so at your own risk. You see, when people come and together and working together, I thought they can have each other's back. The person who's specifically asking about suspended minister, is the position vacant? Who has that question? You scared to come forward with your own question now? Are you there? You don't let someone there? Let someone there, acting minister there? Are you suggesting by your question that someone not able to job? And we'll appoint somebody there? But if you're not taking any making noise about that? Acting you, not acting you at the same position, at the same job. When you're acting the way different from when you're not acting? But it's somebody there. And I don't think can tell the president when you might appoint people. It's the prerogative of the president. When he decides today that there's a time to appoint somebody, maybe who knows, maybe he'll be a family himself. But will there be enough difference between what you're supposed to be doing as an acting and as a proper? That department that play in that crime, they say, we get gap, you please bring somebody quick. If you do that, I mean, you say somebody like very well. Just start on money your friend. Star welfare. You know, you guys are journalists and I expect you to understand that no ministry except for other public institutions like the MPA, LPRC and other places, no ministry where the employees are considered civil servants have what they are paid determined by the ministry or the minister. What they give them as salary is determined by the civil service agency in collaboration with the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning. But most importantly, I was consulting with my deputy for administration because they oversee personnel issues. And it is not true that anybody works for less than $150. So I don't know where you got that information from. So the question of star welfare defined in terms of salary, I don't have control over it. I can't do anything about it, but there's a government-wide initiative. But star welfare is not just about salary. So the one that we're able to do that within our purview, we've been doing it. The ministry was rotting, leaking all over. Someone saying in their office, water falling out on them. It's not happening anymore. It's part of their welfare. We've made the working environment conducive for them to work. When you do so, you're improving their welfare. There's someone who working in the office and they even got laptop, they got sheet to even print something. And you give it to them now, it affects their welfare. When holidays come, even you're not working for us here. On the Christmas and 2017, we didn't take care of your welfare. Then our own people working with for all, we're not doing for them. So those ones are opening our purview. When holidays are coming, we buy rest, we do this, everything we give to them. That's part of the welfare because maybe you've forgotten. They didn't get it in the last 6 years. And for as long as we stay here, two, except people have forgotten. The government has said the harmonization that was done in this country over the last 6 years is unacceptable. So we said we undo it. But to undo something like creation, what's the matter? Let there be light and there was light. To undo the harmonization, we got to find ourselves in the fiscal space of generating the money that can be used to carry that pay back up. That's what Dr. Jara has said with his team that they're working to take our budget to over $1 billion. And one of the first priority things that will happen when that happens is to undo the harmonization. Which means if somebody was making $300 prior to harmonization, they will come back to the $300. And that will be a whole of government approach. Not one ministry taking a decision of pay process because we don't have the authority to do so. So it's a process that we committed to. And before President Bada leaves office, all these people will be restored to pre-harmonization period. If you let them put the kind of harmonization part 2, that one I have been. But we'll do our part. Yes, the president called leaders on the Unification Day. He specifically called former President Selig. They had a long conversation. He called President Weah. He couldn't get him to have a conversation on the phone, but at least he acknowledged his effort and replied with a text message. The same thing happened to Mr. Cummings. He called Beninoa Wilfred Yue as well. So he called a number of political actors. The key point is, even if they did not, or they were not in readiness to answer the phone, they acknowledged the call with the return of text messages and say, oh, happy Unification Day too, and we hope you well. It was his own way of reaching out. I believe it would have been good if all the people he contacted took the phone, they talk verbally rather than through text message. Because if he wanted to send text message, he would have text and say, happy Unification Day. But he called. And if I was among any of those leaders who was not able to pick the call at the time, once I got to the call, I will return the call and not send a text message. I mean, that's what I would have done. But you can't tell grown-up people what they should do. So they will do what they want to do. I think basically the other one you asked is about the direct budget support. What it will be used for. Maybe you're not listening well. When I spoke, it's in two folds, right? I talked about the 56 million euro, which is around 62 million, and we'll talk about additional 7 million, which is around 7.7 million. The 7.7 million will be used for complementary measures to strengthen public financial management and oversight. So it falls within the domain of the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, maybe to some extent in concert with the Central Bank of Liberia. But on a broader note, the other ones will be used to strengthen the public financial management system, it will enhance domestic revenue mobilization. How does it do so? There are so many things that are required. Dr. Jara said you want to have 1 billion budget. But like I said, that by creation, there are things that must be done to get there. Part of the support will be geared towards that. So they will enhance domestic revenue mobilization. They will help to improve transparency and accountability. How does it do so? Maybe through a budgetary processing, direct budget support. Some of the support to integrity institutions could be tapped up as a way of allowing them to do their work. Because some of them doing their work, but it seems like they're crying that they have limited support in terms of budgetary allocation. They will also help to create an enabling environment for doing business, which will require different kinds of intervention. So these are things the government is supposed to do. But at the same time, even though they were not direct budgetary support, some of the partners, especially those who are working with support from USAID, are overseeing some of these interventions. We all know the USAID intervention gone. So I guess the EU's action is to help mitigate some of the challenges that we are facing as a result of that drawback from USAID. So if we have some hiccup here, there, and as far as the budgetary process is concerned, if they put the money directly through your budget instead of giving it to some partners to execute, they give it to you so that you can use it to address some of the hiccups and challenges that may exist in your budgetary process. Is there anything else I will not answer? But I answer you. The first thing I started with, I said he said when they will stop. I said immediately. So it has to do with an investing company that is transporting iron ore by road that was not permitted to do so. Same manners, it's a routine thing that will always happen. They got people who can give them the permit, but you don't see 300 trucks on the road at the same time carrying sand. Maybe 5 trucks coming, 3 trucks coming. It is something someone has a lesson to do, and they will keep doing it as long as they're not breaking any law. What we're talking about here is putting 200 trucks on the road and bringing iron ore. I live on that corridor. I don't know what I'm inhaling, but I truck passing there every day. Maybe 5 years from now, I start having trouble. I can't breathe good. My throat start hurting. When they go diagnose me, I got some kind of infection as a result of exposure to iron ore that fly in the air because somebody taking me by truck. On multiple occasions when I'm going home, I leave from here 9 o'clock every day. Sometimes I reach a point where the trucks are about 50, 60. All their lights are bright. You can drive, park up the road until our whole caravan can go by. I mean, if they were permitted to do so, then that turning we brought upon ourselves. So we should hold ourselves responsible for putting that much truck on the road and causing safety issues for all of us. But in this case, they were doing so illegally. And some of the actors in the sector did not know. I do, because I live in that place. So I raised the issue. It was investigated, it was established that indeed they were doing that. Nobody even knew that they were also taking those iron ore out of the port and were being taken out of the country. The Ministry of Lands and Mines is supposed to have an evaluation of the exploitation of our resources in that quantity to make sure that all of the attended benefit that's supposed to come to government when they do the kind of thing are done. The Ministry of Mines did not even know that iron ore being taken to the port. But the alarm led to an intense investigation followed by the inter-ministerial meeting, and the action was taken. So it was not something meant to run behind everybody who would get truck, whether they carry cross route or senior somewhere. It was targeted about Chico that has an agreement with the government to build a jetty. And the side of the jetty, they were authorized to build their own road to be able to take their product there. Just pile it up there until you finish with the jetty, then you start exploitation. They didn't wait for that. They apparently bypassed the system. I don't know how that was possible in broad daylight, because you could see the trucks coming in their hundreds. But it's a matter that is now handled and it's being controlled. Tomorrow, I am expected to join Vice President Jeremiah Kuhn and other officials of government to travel to the People's Republic of China. It's a trip that upon return will bring to closure something we've been talking about for a long time. You know why it is, and I want to mention it. One of the things I can say, I was just telling my deputy for administration, you guys do wonderful work here. But I think we have not given that recognition that we should give you. Maybe we think when you come to press conference and you get Trump to the end of the road, we think it's enough. It's not enough. Probably one of you should have been on the delegation with Daniel Sandro and the other person. We think that's something we've got to be doing to you who covering our ministry. When we have travel opportunity, we should include at least one person. And then over time, a lot of you can travel. It is a way of appreciating what you do here. And unfortunately, in this case with China, it's not being covered by the Ministry of Information. It's handled strictly by the Vice President's office. And unfortunately, the list of the delegation had to be to the Chinese government is already there. Other than that, I was telling the deputy whether it was possible for you all to pick one person from among you that we could put in the delegation at the expense of the ministry. But then we told the deputy minister who always interact with our Vice President office, they say, but the list long already late. So as the head of the entity, and for not paying attention to something I consider this crucial, let me apologize to each of you and assure you that going forward when we have these missions, we ask your leadership, we will not decide. If that one person will care, we ask your leadership, you say you'll get together, you'll choose one person to go. Another time, another one person go. And we hope we can keep doing that so some of you can. How many people have fly plane before? Where you one? 2, 3, 4. All the people only 4 people have fly plane? Alright, it's so good we had all the media people here, but at least we added something called Hallelujah TV, right? When they say Hallelujah, you care what the people can say. So that person of Hallelujah man will be men to travel in Jesus' name. Sorry. Now you sort of wait for me to be the one to do it. Jump ahead, you start recognizing the poetry, all kind of thing. So, very looking. I'm happy to have you here, along with your dear wife. It is an honor for us, for people to just see the need to come, speak to us, say something about what we're doing, without invitation. We hope many people could do that. There are things we want to do for these journalists. Some of the people in the diaspora, where I come from as well, are doing so well. Sometimes maybe when you can't, you say, let me carry 3 or 4 recorders to the ministry so they can give it to some of the reporters that are covering the place. Those kind of engagement, we want to see more of that. So I really appreciate the fact that you come. But I don't think it will be proper for you to leave without saying something to all the wonderful press people. So please come say something.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Thank you so very much, Honorable Minister. For the matter of fact, you just opened my eyes when you just mentioned equipment, logistics. And I don't want to make a promise, but I know positively you will be hearing from us. We have a daughter that is in this ministry. Just to inform you, after 30 years, my wife and I decided to come back. And we've been here since 2021. We have been in and out of this. We stay in the U.S., but we come and go. I think since 2021, we've been here 7 or 8 times now. And from the very first year to today, one of the first places we go when we come is at have the system that is so dear to us. And every time we have to come and pay. I want to say there has been a tremendous improvement. My name is Agatha. Has been of my wife and our team. We want to say a big, I have to speak like a pastor, if you allow me. We want to say a big God bless you and thank you to you and the entire team. There has been a difference since your coming in, and we pray and look forward to seeing bigger things. I sat there listening to you, and you mentioned so many great things that we are happy about. But 2 things you touched that made me to exhale. And what were the 2 things you have mentioned? The Unification Day, and you elaborated on it a little bit. And the next thing you said that took my attention was regarding the last election that was held a few days ago. And you said something that was so profound to me. You said there's nothing about losers or winner. I picked that up and I jotted it. I have a 35-year-old son. We have a 35-year-old son that is dying to come back home. We have a 22-year-old that's falling after. We have a 22-year-old that is also dying to come home. And our biggest concern, where are they going to? So when you said there is nothing like winner or loser, I said to myself, I have a message for my boys. And Honorable Minister, looking at the journalists here, 99 or 98% of them are young people. Their eyes are open, their ears are open, they want to know what is happening. And when you spoke, I said, thank you, God. We have someone who is here to give them the information they need. Once again, I want to say a big thank you. And I know by the grace of God, you have something to contribute to the success of this nation. We in the diaspora are dying to come back to Mama Liberia. Some don't want to, but I can guarantee you there is a huge number of people who are dying to come back. And because of people like you, I know by the grace of God, we are on our way. Coming back not to look for government offices, for to do what we can do in our own right and ability. Thank you so much. God bless you all. So on behalf of my boss, who is not here, Minister Sando, and I've been given the opportunity to say thank you to the chairman of ARMS, Honorable Fromayan, and your team, the Minister of Information, Culture Affairs and Tourism, our esteemed guests who have been following the work of the minister. Sometimes when you within the system, when you say it, people say, but you are there. But there is a clear testimony of the working of Minister Pia here. He said his office, the way it looks, that's how the conference room look. Is that a selfish leader? And somebody asked a question about me. Let me tell you something. Somebody wanted to tell Jesus, and the guy had the bread in your hand. And you asked Jesus, he said, is the bread alive or is dead? And Jesus said, the life of the bread is in your hand. Thank you for coming. We appreciate you. In Jesus' name.
So that's it for the press briefing here at the Ministry of Information, Culture Affairs and Tourism. So for those of you they following this live broadcast, I would like to say thanks for following. So to the press briefing, interest our Honorable James Fromayan, the Chairperson of the Liberia National Commission of Arms. Honorable Fromayan speaks on the exercise of the President's executive order, which focuses on the mandatory registration of civilian firearms. He was accompanied by his vice chair, Fromayan BK Womo, and Commissioner Anti-Driven, respectively. So, once again, thanks for following this live broadcast. I am Asiame Kone. See you next week for another edition of MICAT Press Briefing.
Right, somebody on the route? Somebody on the route? No, I done it, yeah. 5.